Hey, my name is Tiffany. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me on this lovely day, that whenever it is that you're joining me. I'm happy that you stopped by. Hopefully you continue to watch to the end of this video. This video is going to be more of a motivational video. So just some things I've been thinking about, and also some things that I see others are struggling with as well, and I just want to motivate you. So let's do this. Let's get motivated. All right, here we go. So I feel as if people, especially, minorities and people of color, I feel like we're taught to just accept the first thing that comes along. This is referring to job opportunities. So you get offered a job and you feel as if you have to take it. You're like, well, this is all I have, so let's do it. And then oftentimes you may be wondering if there's something else out there, but you kind of your back's against the wall and you're just like, listen, they offered, let's see what it is. I feel as if it's more and more important for you to really take some time, figure out what it is that you're looking for in a job, in your role, in a company. Write it down. Have that list of things that you will not settle with. So basically it's like, hey, I know I need my coworkers to be on point. I need them to be friendly. I need them to be helpful. For some others, it's like, listen, I need a company that is going to have this program available so I can go to school while I still work. Some people are just like, you know what, I need flexibility. So whatever that is for you, write down those things as to what they are, and don't settle. Don't. Unless major extenuating circumstances come along and you're just like, you know what, I have no choice. Then work through that. But my advice to you is, don't accept the first thing, even if it's not the best case scenario that you've written out for yourself. Now, there's some things that you're like, oh yes, I'd love to be making X amount of dollars, and you may tick off everything on your list except the salary may be lower than you expected, and that's fine. You can negotiate that if possible. And that you could figure that out, or you could say, you know what, everything else is fine, it's just the salary, and I could work with the salary that I have. I just wanted the higher salary, or whatever the case may be. If there are things that you can negotiate with yourself on that are more flexible on your list, then of course definitely do that. Don't, by all means, don't pass up a really great opportunity that everything else says yes, and the only thing that's stopping you is one thing, and it's something that is just like, well, I could do without this. It's not as important as the other things on the list. So keep that in mind as you are listening through this. Now, back to the idea of accepting the first thing that comes along. So with that, I want to encourage you, and to you have your list, you have, you've been through the job interview, they love you, they want to hire you. Don't feel like you have to accept that position just because it was offered to you. I feel like this is something that, again, mostly minorities, women, people of color, that sort of thing, we feel like we have to accept the first thing. This also comes with people that are looking for their first job, in a new industry, and so they feel like, well, this is what I have to accept now, this is what they're offering me, and so don't feel like that's an end-all be-all, but really sit down, like I said beforehand, have your list, make sure that you know what you can go without or move forward with, and then stick to that. In addition, you may have friends or colleagues that will help you out and say, hey, my company's hiring, and you send them your resume, or you say that you know this person, and then you end up going through the process, and you get the job, or you don't get the job, whatever the case may be. Don't feel as if you've let that person down, if you decide not to go with the job offer, or you or that you've moved on to something else, or just whatever the case may be, don't feel like that person that essentially walked you to the door is going to be upset with you. I think it's important for you to realize that, you know, people want to help. People are excited to kind of help you get your first opportunity, your next opportunity. But I just want you to know that it's okay to, you know, go through the process and realize this process is like, this may not be for you. It's possible because there's different things for different people, and so it may fit that person, but it may not fit you and who you want to become. So that's why that list in the beginning that I said is so important for you to have, because literally kind of everything follows after that. Once you figure out what you want, what you won't settle on, what you need, then you could kind of go through the process and like weed out people and companies as you're looking at them. You're like, nah, I could tell this is not going to work. Or you might be like, oh, this doesn't work, but let me try for it anyway. You just kind of go along with the process. It's all interviewing. It's all about finding the right fit, what's going to work, that sort of thing. So don't feel bad if it doesn't work out for you. Also, don't feel like you have to, don't just take it just to take the opportunity. Have a reason behind that. Now, there are things in which, or reasons in which you may accept a position. I accepted a position after Coden Bootcamp because I was like, I need a job. And so that's just what it was. Like, I was like, I need this job. So it has nothing to do with what I want to do, but I need this job. And so it's one of those things. But you have to figure out when you're there, you have to have a growth strategy. What is that? So what that is basically you're saying, hey, this is not where I want to be, but here's how I can get there. And then you also have to rally people on your team as well. And so now that you've kind of got your people around you, you've got your growth strategy in place because you had to take this job, really think about, really go into the next season of your journey trying to fit the bill of what you put on paper. If you're like, hey, my growth strategy says, hey, I want to learn more about this, and then you also have your don't settle list, which your don't settle list has things on there like, hey, I refuse to work for a company that will not allow me flexibility. So once you have all that stuff together, then you can say, hey, go into the next phase, go into the next role, go into the next company with those things in mind and really stick to those things. And, you know, sometimes, a lot of times, sometimes companies, they're not thinking about the things that you're thinking about. So if you do have something in mind that maybe wasn't spoken about during the interview process or what have you, bring that stuff up. Say, these are the things that are important to me. I don't see them anywhere. I've looked on your website, I've looked here. I've asked a couple of other people. I don't see it. So tell me about it. Don't be afraid to push back on that kind of stuff. If it's important to you and they want you on the team and they feel like you could thrive there, then they will make it happen or try to make it happen. But if they're showing like no, you know, if they don't care, then they don't care. You know, at the end of the day, you can't make them care tomorrow if they never cared today. So just think about that as you kind of go through this journey too. You can't convince people that don't want to be convincing. So that's the thing. I said all that to say is, you know, this whole topic came up because I was thinking one day as well, in addition to the other things I mentioned, but I was thinking, hey, like, this is a new age that we're in. And, you know, back when my parents were coming up, like, I told my dad I was going to go from a corporate job to a very startup-y job. And he's just like, you know, he's like shocked. Are you sure? Are you sure? Like, and he's like, do you think you can make that work? You know, what if you get laid off? And I'm like, listen, it is what it is. You know, at this point, this company over here can provide for me the things that I'm currently looking for in this time of my career. Therefore, I am going to be over here with this company and work with them for as long as I can. So with that being said, I feel like that mentality of like staying somewhere for X amount of years, and I've been here for 10 years, that's out the window. You know that already. Like, that's gone. People aren't doing that anymore. And if they are, good for them. But a lot of people, it doesn't align with what they want. And so, but I feel like a lot of movement also happens in your career because that strategy, those don't settle lists aren't being prepared. And so if you go through preparation and you kind of fill it out, and you're like, okay, well, I don't really like this. I thought I wanted more flexibility, but what it turns out is I really need schedules and set times to do things. And you know, if that's who you are, then you got to pivot and do something else. So it's all about finding that balance of what works, and it's gonna change, right? For like every season, every kind of career juncture that you're in, every few years, every couple of years, every year, you know, every 6 months, reevaluate what's on that list of yours and really stick to that. But do not feel like you have to take something just because they gave it to you. It's like, well, here you go. And you're like, well, I guess I'll take it. Sure, I want to do this. And you're not really sure. You know, take some time, think about it, reevaluate, come back to it. And if you're still kind of in that phase of just like, you know what, this probably isn't for me, it's okay. But figure out what is for you. So there's a caveat, you know, so you could not be okay with what's going on, but also have a plan to figure out what will work for you. So don't walk away and just be like, well, that didn't work. No, have a growth plan because you need it for yourself in order to figure out where you're going to land next. And don't think that there's nothing else there for you. You have to do some digging, but you'll also have to look within yourself as well and figure out like, hey, what do I need right now? What can I not settle with? And what am I happy about doing? And stuff like that. And really hone in on that and really understand what that is. Lists tend to work really well for myself, and I know that. So I write a lot of stuff down. If there's things I'm looking for, if there's things I'm doing, if there's things I see in myself that I'm like, you know what, this is really good, I write stuff down. So you do the same. I hope it works out for you. With that being said, thank you for watching. I definitely appreciate it. Comment below if you have your own motivation to share around this topic of kind of just not settling. If you have a different approach that you take, please let us know in the comments below. I also have contact information in the box below this video, so if you want to follow me on Instagram or Twitter or send me an email, please do so at the links below. And hey, if there's anything else I could help you with, let me know. I'm happy to help if I could be of service. And as always, thank you for watching, and be great. Do your best, be great. You got this. You can do this. It's okay. Might be a little fuzzy now, but you could do this. It's okay. You got it. You got it. All right? You got it. See you in the next video.